immediate Dark World access, and then just got to go from there.
Yeah, I want to find. Oh, here we go.
And they're off.
Already started. Both going to the same spot, and both choosing to go probably straight to Uncle already.
And a map check already. All 3 crystals in the Light World, with Desert Palace being the one of the Pyramid Fairy crystals.
So, what you want to see for a quick seed? Those are all 3 really easy dungeons.
Yeah, we could potentially get out of this without, if we got like a Pennant Swamp or Pennant Mire, Pennant Tea Rock, that cuts out a lot of required items for a seed, which maybe we could get that Jet Seed I'm asking for.
Yeah, and Jighart getting a little more luck than Ruble with the drops, already full magic. If he gets a good item here, like a Fire Rod, he could go through just Escape, or I guess Hyrule Castle, to Zelda's cell to get all the items there.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to go into the secret passageway and find a weapon to allow you to go start Hyrule. But we got double 50s, which is actually good, because depending on what, Tree Pulls was what, green rupees, and if the bush crabs aren't rupees or something, then they at least have money for the bottle vendor.
Yeah, you want to at least have 150 going to Kakariko so that you can pay for the bottle vendor, and if you absolutely need to, bombs.
Yeah, it looks like our players are both going to be making the same routing options. Things might switch up depending on if we find any items of value that could take them elsewhere. Early Flute kind of gives you some routing options. Up to Death Mountain, or like straight to Desert to see what's on the ledge. Oh wow, and bush crabs are 20 rupees.
I honestly didn't know that one existed.
I honestly did not either. That's a good one to have.
Yep.
And honestly, it seemed like it was a little bit more. If you just had to pick one or the other, it'd be a little bit more efficient, since this one can kind of get away from you.
Yeah, that one's hard to keep up with sometimes. Ooh, skipping the Aghanim check on Jighart's head.
Only bombs. And the worst is sometimes the bush crab will drop their item behind one of the lumberjack brothers, and then you can't get to it conveniently. So then you're just done. You just got to move along.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good method here by Jighart. Kind of force the crab out the tunnel so that you get all the drops. If you stick around with it, it only drops about 2 or 3. He's already pretty rich.
God, that's a lot of money to the beginning. And the boots. Wow. Can I have the seed? I mean, normally I'd say no, but this was like a
jet seed.
Yeah, we're getting there, one step at a time.
I think we're now moving at 2 steps at a time.
I'd say so. Now, the question is, do you wait? What if Bonk Rocks was like the next progression?
Yeah, basically, out of Lost Woods, it's probably faster to go there. But at any other point in time, you'd probably want to go through the rest of Kakariko first. So it's kind of a toss-up. Maybe you don't really think about it in time to make the right decision, but...
Yeah, we're having plenty of rupees, but no bombs. We'll have to go to the shop to pick some up. I liked that the bottle vendor did trade their 100 rupees for another 100 rupees, so...
Yeah, you can see before going here, Ruble was killing an extra green guard or 2, hoping for some bombs.
And we already got the magic powder. Now, if we get like a hammer in Kakariko, then we'll probably definitely see a bat check on the way out. Otherwise, if anything though, powder is always a nice little safety to have at the beginning of the game. This could be one of those seeds where you just don't get hearts, like ever.
Yeah, especially when you're low on hearts, and if you get that early Dark World access, powder is often useful because the anti-fairies are, or at least the bunny beams are pretty frequent in the Dark World dungeons.
Alright, bottom of the well, what do you got for us?
Just cash.
Nothing of value, really.
Cash and hearts. It's been a pretty quiet Kakariko so far.
We've got what? Powder, that's it?
Yep, powder and I guess whatever's in these 5.
There's a big 300, a boomerang, bombos, and another heart.
So I'd want to see Pearl now so that I can go do all of the Zora stuff in one glitch.
Yeah, with the water walking and fake flippering combination.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd probably go to Hashvilla to try to put that off. I don't know what they'll choose to do.
Well, they have a boomerang now, so like if they really wanted to, they could go Hyrule Castle using the boomerang to stun enemies and then bombing them. Still not very fast at all, but
Jighart with magic could take the very slow method of bombosing everything.
except you can't use
Oh yeah,
you
he
can't
needs
use
a sword
bombos without
still.
a sword. Yeah, but half magic. Speaking of, is a nice find along the way.
Yeah. Good.
Now imagine if they had
Magic
routed this a
combos.
little bit differently. Had they gone like from the south of Kakariko up to Lost Woods, you know, they might not have ended up getting that right away. And that was another medallion. I don't know which
I think
one
that
it
one was Ether? I'm not too sure though, it's hard to tell. It's a very quick check.
Well, you got to be thinking at this time, like, oh man, I'm finding all these medallions, so clearly Mire and T-Rock are probably both going to be pendants.
Yeah, I mean 3 pendants in the Dark World, you're not expecting much. I would assume at this point only one of those is gonna be a crystal.
And it was Ether. Yeah, very interesting, Kakariko. Let's hope South Shore has a little bit more for our players.
Yep, there's only really 2 options on where to go now, and it's either right or down. And we're going down. Both players opting to pick up hearts at Link's house. Probably because crabs hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm. 2 hearts each is not something to play around with. Yeah, once again, players both making the same choices. More than likely, all these choices are probably like, you know, the most efficient, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of just the default, usually.
You can make a few different choices, but hardly any difference in the end.
Oh, there's a flute. All right, well.
That's only 1 item, though, up on the mountain. I guess they could do a dark room, but that's about all they get out of that.
Yeah, and dark rooms aren't really fun when all you have is a boomerang. Maybe we'll find a book soon, and then the desert plate will come into play.
Hopefully. I'm gonna need something soon, because they are not finding anything yet. Expecting a hype mini Moldorm.
Come on, give us like a moon pearl or something. There's a glove.
Oh boy!
There we go. Okay, well, that's good. We still don't have Dark World access yet. We're still looking for a hammer or a second glove. Oh, and Ruble running out of bombs. He's not going to be able to finish that mini Moldorm cave.
Yeah, if you didn't miss that one from falling off the edge there.
That's going to give him a pretty...
Jighart's skipping out on Ice Rod Cave.
He's going to be pretty behind from that. Looks like he's going to go activate his flute. Hopefully he grabs some bombs there and then heads straight back.
Yeah, I don't want to see a flute to the mountain since you only get 1 item and a spot on another one.
And just as a reminder, you can't use medallions if you don't have a sword. Otherwise, our players would have easily used bombos to clear Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah.
We have Jighart going with all the sequence breaks here.
No, I guess he set up the water walking too.
Yep. I saw him when he was leaving Mini Moldorm Cave, dashing straight down to set that up.
He could have saved that.
I like using it in this format. Oh, there's our first sword!
My.
Though that might not be our first sword. At least that's our first, or that might not be the player's first sword that they get, obviously, because they're missing a lot of stuff to get that.
Yeah, I still need mirror flippers and a way to get into the Dark World.
Double
Bomb upgrade.
capacities.
It's amazing how fast Jighart's moving with that water walk.
Mm-hmm.
No swimming whatsoever.
I like the style of setting it up so that you could dash back from Hobo. I've never seen that one.
I didn't even notice him set it up. That's how fast it was. Wow, perfect dash route too. That's really good.
Let's see what Zora's got for us. The red boomerang. Everyone's favorite. Y'all like lag, right?
Exactly. Ruble going back to clean up so that he can get his hammer and, or not hammer, gloves and pearl, sorry. I just really want to see a hammer.
Jighart's gonna be going to the back of escape. Oh man, that was a weird hitbox, not hitting the mini Moldorn.
Yeah, I think the damaging portion of the effect had disappeared already, so when the Moldorm ran through it, it did not take damage.
Well, here's hoping that Ruble's, in order to catch up, he's gonna have to skip out on all the sequence breaking stuff.
Yeah, maybe something good on Ice Rod.
It's very tempting though. There's the
well then.
Sweet sequence break.
What does that leave then? Sahasrara and
We got Death Mountain.
Eastern.
We got Agana. We got Sahasrara Eastern, and we still have all of Hyrule.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different places they could go.
Now, the nice thing about finding those flippers is now they're just a mirror and Dark World access away from getting that sword. So who knows? This could end up being their first sword.
It could be. They're not too far off. Ruble going to check on Sahasrara and the eastern section with Jighart cleaning up some of the stuff, probably activating his flute now. Stuff that Ruble has done.
This could pay off for Ruble. He'll be able, depending on what he finds here, he might be able to catch up a little bit.
Yep, and since he skipped the fake flippers, he'll probably find that before he goes back over there.
Though once he does go to escape, he'll probably end up going back and doing the flipper stuff. Jighart activating the flute. Will they go up to Death Mountain next?
Ruble skipped out on Eastern checking, which is probably a good play right now, but it's hard to really tell.
No, he's about to get his flippers. Oh man, I don't think I've ever seen a double bomb purchase in one game.
Did Ruble purchase bombs the first time?
Yeah.
So that makes both of them buying double. Jighart's picking up the Ice Rod now, yeah.
Oh, is the Ice Rod there?
The Ice Rod cave is what I mean. Sorry. Vanilla Ice Rod.
I know how much you love playing vanilla.
So much.
I mean, that PB you got.
Who likes text box?
It's on speedrun.com, right?
Exactly.
You're like in top 10, right?
So Ruble's gonna check it as well. So no one's checked Agana yet.
Yeah, so we still have Agana, Death Mountain, and then Eastern at this point.
And the front of Escape, or Hyrule Castle.
I would like to see
call it
a book soon.
I want to see a bow and maybe a lamp, but
yeah, that's dumb. I want to see a book.
Hammer is probably what they want to see, so they can get a lot more options.
Well, let's take a look at what we got right now. So, if our players are going to be forced to do Agate Tower, they're going to need a sword, the lamp, and then another sword or a cape, as opposed to just finding another glove or hammer. So I feel like at this point, they're more than likely going to be finding access to the Dark World and not having to do Aga.
Yeah, there's pretty much no chance that Aghanom's going to be looked at in this one. Jighart actually just did the Dark Room for Old Man, so he's got the saving quit there. He'll check Spectacle Rock here as Ruble catches up on the flipper nonsense. Still
You know,
nothing.
we find the mitts. Well, actually, never mind. Mitts is exactly what we need. Somehow, I'm always trying to think of the players having to go to the Mire area to do stuff. Like, I want that.
That would be pretty good, yeah. Bits to go there.
But that's when it's like you have Mire and not Moon Pearl. Because when you see Moon Pearl at Checkerboard Cave, that's always good for a laugh.
Always good for a rage quit.
True. All right, Jighart, now going to Sahasrahla. Talk to him. I want to know what the green pendant is.
I'm gonna guess it's Thieves Town.
He's an old man. He just wants friends.
Ooh. We're going to Eastern.
He didn't talk to him. Ruble on his way to go pick up his magic boomerang.
This might be a bomb required Hyrule Castle.
It might be.
If that's the case, Ruble will need to buy bombs for a third time.
Yeah, because how many do you need? You need 2 for the first guard, and then 1 for the green guard, and then another 2, and then that's it.
You
So
could
you
get
need
some
at
drops, but
You need at least 5 bombs. Alright, Ruble, where you head next? Death Mountain? Yep.
mostly following in Jighart's footsteps at the moment. Jighart hoping something is in Eastern here.
The seed kind of turning into one of those, fuddling down to the very last item for both our players.
Yeah, occasionally you'll get that in the light world where you gotta find that one piece that gets you to the dark world, and you'll check everywhere to find it.
Which isn't the worst
There it
thing.
is.
Wow. Because more than likely you'll still go back and check the rest of the light world stuff before committing completely to the dark world, or try and route them both in. Because the worst thing is when you put off light world locations till half an hour in, 45 minutes in, and then they ended up being your required item. Yeah, my Titan Mitts in Eastern. So had Ruble gone straight into Eastern, he would have had them. He would have been the first one to get those.
Yeah, he would have been pretty happy, probably not even going to Death Mountain right now. Jighart's gonna continue, no reason not to.
Gonna go for the full dark room.
There's some risk in saving quitting on those mitts to try to check different locations first, since you have to come back to Eastern anyways, but there could be another important item in here.
It could be as simple as the lamp in Thieves Town to get your first sword over here.
Yeah.
So, but of course we know this is going to be a big key, so this is going to be a logic break.
Probably no Agna has the lamp or something, and it doesn't matter at all.
Oh, it looks like Ruble's heading back, so he's not going to be too far behind.
Jighart's getting a little lost in that room. I think he's finally found himself. Yeah, gotta grab those hearts since he took damage at the wrong time, or he would have died trying to set this chest off. It's not fun to do.
Yeah, those guys do a lot of damage. I think they do a heart regardless of your health, of your armor, right?
I believe, or are we talking the Popos or the Antifairies?
Antifairies, I think.
Yeah, I
Not the
believe those
Popos.
do one either way.
They're kind of like spikes or the fireballs. Big 300. Exactly what Jighart was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, already done Zora, and you have about 1,000 rupees. I think they're happy. It's their money count for the rest of the game.
All right, so where do you go? Do you go straight to Village of Outcasts? That seems to be the general preferred choice.
Yeah, with mitts, the only options are that or the Mire area. And you kind of want to hope you get Mire when you go to Mire area so that you can check everything there.
Well,
Maybe even do desert while you're there.
Well, hopefully we'll get a map check immediately. But this is going to be interesting. You have a lot of stuff you can do right now. All right. Pendant Skull Woods, Green Pendant Pod, Pendant Ice, and 5 is the Thieves Town.
Yep.
So those medallions are going to be actually useful. That's nice. And it looks like Jighart is going straight for the Skull Woods play. I like it. You don't have a fire rod, you don't have a sword, you're not going here to complete it, and it's also a pendant, so you might as well get it out of the way. Ooh. And Ruble also going to go ahead and finish everything that they can in Eastern Palace.
Ooh, a book.
Hey, there's that book I wanted.
Oh,
No
you need a
key.
key. I did that earlier, yesterday, I believe.
Well, let's see. With this book, the only thing they can do with it right now is get into desert. But we don't have a fire source, so the likelihood of making a desert play as of right now is pretty slim.
You have the boots, though, so you can get everything done but Land Mola.
Yeah, it's a little scary being in here with only 6 hearts, and those Gibdos do 2 hearts each with a green tunic. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, and unfortunately, without the Mire, checking pedestal will not be happening here because they are not going to be able to go to the pedestal easily at any point in time.
That's a good point. Uh-oh, watch out. Oh, this is scary.
Much spark across, stuck it.
Okay. It's like, yeah, you have nothing you could do. I think
They
you
were
could
closing in.
You could powder them, but that's about it.
Does that work?
Uh-huh.
Well, that's cool. I need to see that happen.
Because because you know that bunny beam on the way to Mothula?
Yeah.
I've tried, like, I've powdered that and the mini Moldoran at the same time, because sometimes that mini Moldoran loves to give you a little kiss while you're trying to get some health.
Another sword that they can't get to.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Oh, these poor players.
So the Mire or the cape has to be somewhere nearby, unless the other swords are reasonable.
Now, something worth pointing out is, with Jighart's play right into, well, I guess both of them did it. We still haven't seen King's Tomb, so that's still on the board.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, we're looking for a Mire or a cape. That will get him our first sword. At this rate, you might as well just go swordless. Just try to find that hammer.
Fortunately, they can't even hurt blind yet, so that is going to be a risky gamble if someone goes in there. Wow, that's the best chess game I've ever seen.
The drops a bomb. Thanks for the single arrows, bud. Well, here's the thing. Skullwoods, Aga Tower is not required. Skullwood's not required. They don't actually need a sword until they have to beat the game. But this, I'm just missing.
Oh my! A bow immediately.
That's a nice find. Now,
good find when you have no Mire and no way to kill blinds. So it's going to be a death warp out of this dungeon.
Well, that gives them Eastern. I
don't think there are items left in Eastern, though, based on what they found.
Yeah.
I can't remember for sure.
And no one likes doing that dark room.
I don't mind doing it, but not with 6 hearts. That's a dangerous risk. Okay, Ruble got the bomb jump. Seemed a little laggy, so I didn't look like he was going to make it, but yep. He found his compass.
Full heart refill. It's going to make it a little bit more annoying for the death warp.
Choosing to death warp now instead of just go through the whole thing and get all the items.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, you might as well wait until you have a way to actually beat blind and just bank on the big chest not having anything.
Yeah, you don't have the hammer, so there's a good chance you'll get a bunch of nothing and then find out that you needed to go for the big chest anyways.
So at this point, I'm thinking we're going to find a hammer. We got to get that hammer in pod. That's what I'm feeling right now. They just got the bow. They can swim to the pod area. Can Can we make that happen? I want to see that.
Swimming to pod. That's a good idea. I don't remember that one often, so it'd be a good trick to have to do. Haven't been burned by that yet in a race.
I believe the only things that can damage blind are sword, hammer, and the canes.
Yeah, that is correct.
Don't think either rod works. Grabbing the arrow upgrade. It's always fun when you're at the end of the sea and you have 70 arrows. You're like, nice. I can use these.
I'd rather see the bomb cap, but yeah, it's a good feeling to know for sure you're not going to run out of arrows on Ganon or on the way there. It's not a good feeling to hit 1 or 2 arrows and then just realize you have to do sword spins for the rest of the fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, and we're getting a frog tour from Jighart. I like it. You can take him quite a few places. You can even take him in the water. You just can't take him into dungeons or caves that have exits.
I believe Kiki would delete the frog as the follower, so I'm not too sure, but from my understanding,
delete
it's how
it, or
followers
would he just
work.
not show up?
I'm not fully sure on that, because I've done it so that Kiki replaces Zelda before, but I don't think I've tried with a frog.
Okay.
Since you can get there normally with the frog, oh, well, I guess Kiki would already be done at that point, so I wouldn't know either way.
Alright, guys, let's get hyped for some hype cave. We gotta find a mirror or a cape in here. Or just find a straight up sword. Nope. Hey, bombs.
Oh.
There it is! Oh, how convenient is that? They can immediately go get their first sword right now.
Yeah, right now you can grab that sword. Or you could bring the frog back, Mire, come back for the purple chest, and then get your sword.
Oh yeah, because you could route back, check circle of bushes, do the frog stuff. Yeah, but no one wants to backtrack.
No one wants to backtrack.
No one wants to do that.
And Jighart could just swim over, get the sword,
Ooh.
and then flute.
Oh.
I hope the pickle doesn't... I guess you get enough iframes that you'll be fine, but...
Yeah, that was a little scary. Those guys do a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is way faster since you can just tighten midst the block back up.
Mm-hmm.
And kill blind on the way out.
Alright, so with that mirror in hand, we can at least get to Tower of Hera. We can check Checkerboard Cave, Circle of Bushes, North of Graveyard. Swamp Palace is open, but nobody's going to go there without Hammer, because that would be just silly. But what if we get that? What if we finally get that seed where Hammer's in the first chest of Swamp? I don't think we've seen that.
To be thrown.
I don't think we've seen that in this tournament yet.
I wouldn't know for sure, but that would be an interesting seed to go 3-3 on.
But yeah, with this mirror in hand, there's a lot of options you have now all of a sudden.
I like this play.
Jighart hesitating on the map check or on the map screen just a little bit, thinking, do I really want to? What do I want to do? It looks like Ruble's gonna go get his bomb capacity completely filled.
Now, is Jighart gonna? Ooh.
There's a sword. All right, so we know where Tempered Sword is. Though at this rate, we might never see the cape, so we might not ever actually get that sword.
Yeah, that's very possible. Now, Jighart has the option to go into Mire, but without a cane or a fire source, it might be a terrible idea. I would venture to say it is.
What if you find a fire source in there, and then the fire source leads you to the cane?
That would be the trolliest of seeds.
And
well, we're going back.
The likelihood of that, I wonder if they'll probably go into desert first.
Yeah, we're going to desert. Okay, that's a lot safer of a choice.
Oh, and Ruble's actually making the trek back to Circle of Bushes instead. They know that there's a sword there. But I wonder if they'll go all the way back to turn in the frog, or if they'll once again backtrack again to go get their first sword.
Yeah, this is the option I was talking about earlier, which I realized after is a little slower than just getting your sword, fluting over, and turning it all in the other way. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Sniped.
Tried to get a heart and got killed for it.
That's brutal.
Are we gonna go back to grab that heart, or are we just bailing?
Get it, yeah.
It's an interesting path by Ruble to go all the way back to the sword now.
Yeah, we saw him pick up a heart container from Circle of Bushes.
I guess this way allows him to pick up the lunchbox, mirror, and flute. The good thing though is for Jighart is because he picked up the Master Sword from the Mire shed, when he chooses to bring the lunchbox in, he can get the Bombos tablet as well, and likely save a little time there. So we got Ruble going in for the Mire area now, so he will get his sword before he goes and brings the lunchbox in, so he won't lose any time there either. And Jighart's going to find out what Agna has. Couldn't do Land Mullah because no light source. And just a heart piece, so nothing good here. Choosing to walk out, not quite sure what the choice here is. Maybe a flute out is what their plan is. Let's get a lot more will. Is this the eastern play? No. Oh, they're finally going into Hyrule. Clear that up. It'd be kind of amazing if this is where Hammer was all this time. It could also be a fire source here that they've held off on. We can see that Jighart did get the spare key from the back half of Escape, so they chose not to do the dark room without a sword, which is probably a good plan. That dark room is a little bit nasty with the snakes everywhere and it's hard to find the chest. So that would be usually a risky play. You waste about 10 seconds in the dark trying to find your place. Escape proving to be not worth the time right now. So looking at their options, Mire and Swamp are options, but you can't do much in there, so that you're kind of bad plays. They can finish Eastern, they can go up to Hera without their fire source, but there's a few items up there from the tablet and whatever's in Hera front half. And it's possible that the basement in Hera doesn't even have any item in it, so they wouldn't have to do it at all.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Hey. All right, so where do you think this? Where do you think this hammer is gonna be?
I want to see it in pod now, because I want to see them swim over there.
I like the pod play because you did get the bow, and you don't have the lamp yet, so it's not sending you to Eastern.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't work out, you can go to Eastern.
And otherwise, we do have Ice Palace available with Bombos in hand. And it always could be that first chest in Swamp, but the likelihood is pretty Now, what if it ends up being further in Thieves Town, which it's like Ruble is going back. Actually, no, this is their first time in Thieves Town.
Yeah, Ruble never came around because no way to kill blind kind of turned him off of that. As you see from Jighart doing that room, it does take a lot of time in the dark when you're without any visual cues.
You're only picking up what? Heart piece, heart container, something?
Yeah, there was nothing in Hyrule.
Oh man, is this the Mire play?
It has to be. Jighart's been everywhere else in this area. And we're switching to Ether.
Oh baby, this is big. I mean, the nice thing is when you don't have a fire source,
It's a quick check.
It's yeah, because you don't have to do the vanilla big key location. And if you don't even find the big key, then you don't have to check the right side either. At least like the big chest, but
Yeah.
so hey, it did the thing. And it looks like Ruble is going to go for the full clear of Thieves Town, hoping that that big chest is not holding an item. I like this. I like both plays from both players at this moment.
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Ruble's play, to be honest, but we'll see which one pays off, because it is rando, it is V26, anything really could happen. With Mire having 2 items, they could be up at the front, and then Jighart would have the information that Mire is a go mode dungeon. It's not many good looking options though, because you've got Eastern without lamp, you've got Hera without lamp. Oh my god.
There it is. Right in Mire. Now the funny thing is, they could have gone in there the first time they were in that area. Because I believe that, yeah, they already had Ether at that point and the boots.
The seed would have bodied me.
But I don't hate the choice of going into desert instead. And look at that, there's the big key.
Yeah, and now they just want to find the other item without having to go left, so that this would be a go mode Mire when they need to come back. And Ruble has to really hope that there is nothing in that big chest, because that hammer is not in a convenient location.
No. Though Ruble has been in the Mire area as well, so he knows it's available to him at this moment. So
Good
depending on
catch
his
by
choice
Jighart.
afterwards, he might head right there next.
Yeah, Jighart almost spent a key on that door there. Should have been a little mistake. Although with a key in that chest, they would have been fine.
Alright, let's look at our items real quick. We still need both rods. We need Cane of Samaria. We need Hookshot. Jighart has the hammer now. We still technically need the lamp. So we still need quite a few things.
Yeah, there's a lot of options that are missing. Pod is fully completable now, though. Along with, well, I guess you dark room it, but you can fully complete it. That's a really good Mire then for Jighart.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely no reason to come back.
You need to skip the left side entirely.
That's gonna be a go mode dungeon, and that's what you want to see. And Ruble with a good fight. Well, not the greatest of fights, because Blind went to the bottom, but still a good fight. Not many hearts lost. Go pick up that crystal. There you go. So where would you go, being still missing a hammer as Ruble?
Oh, as Ruble. To be honest, I probably would have gone right into Mire after Desert was a bust. But as Ruble, oh, he's gonna go check Batcave.
Purple chest in Batcave.
Well, here's the nice thing: is after he does all this, Except he's going to lose his portal, so he won't be able to check Bombos, but maybe after checking Purple Chest, it'll take him right inside into the Mire area.
Yeah, he could choose to go back to the swamp portal and do the Bombos tablet, but that's kind of slow.
It's pretty slow.
Oof. Fire rod or lamp required. Hera.
Well, I'm sure we'll find one of those two over here in East Death Mountain. And who knows, we might get like Hookshot in Hookshot Cave. Heart piece on the island. What does Purple Chest have for us today? It's got a heart piece.
Nothing paying off for Ruble right now.
Yeah. Let's hope he heads to the Mire area next so we can keep up.
Yeah, that hammer is huge for Jighart's routing right now, able to go to the east side, and eventually the Dark World Death Mountain.
Looks like he's going to go for, I think, the North of Graveyard King's Tomb play.
Not a terrible choice. There could be something there, we haven't seen it yet. But finding the hook shot would be really nice right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the nice thing about having the Mire is being able to route this a little bit quicker in East Death Mountain. Because you can do the push block, switch to bombs, and then just go. Yep. Saves you a little bit of time. And Ruble now seeing that there's a sword up on Bumper Cave.
Well, now that I think about it, I don't know if I'd want hookshot or fire rod more with the amount of things that are torch locked right now. Or at least in Ruble's eye, he doesn't know that Mire is not at all requiring any sort of light.
And there's our light. So, you had to get Hammer from Mire to get the torch. I would go right back into
Eastern first as well.
I would go right back into Tower of Hera after this.
Yeah, that's a good call. Finish up the Dark World and go back to Hera.
Because I'd expect like Hookshot at Moldorm or something like that. Because all of a sudden those items are pretty valuable now, just based on this whole breadcrumb scenario. Yep.
That has unlocked every dungeon except for Mire and T-Rock for Jighart, crystal-wise. So, oh, hold on. Pod is, I was thinking of the wrong one. So we still need the hookshot for Swamp. Mm-hmm. I mixed up Swamp and Pod's crystals. That's still a lot of dungeon options, though. I believe that's 4 dungeons they could full clear right now.
Oh, wow. And we got the cape from the King's Tomb. So Ruble's going to be able to get his Tempered Sword already. And, you know, just based on how the rest of this routing goes for Jighart, they might never get that Tempered Sword.
Yeah, Ruble's going to be working on some time gains every single fight.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, like, King's Tomb is one of those things, one of those locations. It's kind of like Bonk Rocks. If you forget about it or put it off for so long, and then you find like your next progression item, then all of a sudden that spot keeps on getting pushed to the further and further back in your mind.
Yeah, and with the find there, it's such an awkward spot because you don't like going back to the graveyard area, but since it's King's Tomb, you might assume you already did it because of how early Mitz was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just a red rupee. Alright, Super Bunny Cave. We don't... Ooh. What if you need that cape to do Spike Cave? By the logic.
Now that would be a really good advantage for Ruble. Although with Jighart having that many hearts, all it really takes is 1 bottle.
True.
Which
we don't.
Jighart doesn't have a bottle yet.
Oh, Ruble has one. We'll find a bottle.
I don't remember, but I saw it pretty recently. It might have been in the back half of Thieves Town. Blind had the bottle. Okay.
Oh, wow. So, I missed it, chat, but did we get all the items in Thieves Town then?
I don't know, but Jighart might be checking right now.
Jighart's going back into Thieves Town. This will give Ruble a chance to kind of catch up. We need him to go to Mire. Go to Mire! Get your fire rod from Catfish, then go to Mire.
That would have been beautiful.
Except
Although I think you would have preferred a Samaria block at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Do some dark rooms, you know?
I don't know Mire's or Ruble's dark rooms.
Yeah, that's a really hard dark room. You gotta know that lineup on that switch or you're gonna be in trouble.
It looks like Ruble might be going for the pod play or checking pyramid. One of the two.
I'm going to pyramid first. Jighart has the option to do this and then desert to unlock the pyramid fairy as well.
Alright, so as of right now, we need both rods and the cane.
And the hook shot.
And that's it, as far as we know. We don't know if that cape is required yet, but man, that tempered sword must be nice.
Yeah, tempered sword is great. Unfortunately, though, for Ruble, every second without that hammer is time for Jighart to catch up. Or not catch up, but gain a lead, since the lead is kind of there, but it's not really a strong lead since Ruble could get that hammer at any time and not really lose any time from it.
Well, maybe if he's good with Mire Dark Rooms, maybe he'll find Kina Samaria in Pod and he'll be able to one-shot Mire.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ruble, though, he can't even finish Pod, so this is kind of a gamble.
Yeah, I mean, it's the difference between having to double-dip Mire, double-dip Pod.
Yeah.
We actually saw that in, I believe it was DT's race he had. It was the difference between one... It was that exact same scenario. And the double-dipping Mire ended up being the faster route.
If he finds a hook shot, he could go get that lamp and not have to do dark rooms.
Oh, that's true.
And then I believe you can mirror past the hammer requirement to get to Hera and not have to waste time saving, quitting, and going around.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of fun how there are different options for getting around desert, or getting desert.
Technically, yes.
Well, that too, yeah. I'm not wrong. But for Death Mountain, makes things a little bit interesting.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see a hookshot come in. I want to see that. So the big chest was nothing, so Ruble did not waste any time going in there.
Nah, that's always the gamble. Nothing in Pod yet. Oh, blue mail's nice though.
Got a little stylish Roy now.
Got a little blue Koopa. I mean, he'll be able to do everything in here except for finishing it. And it's a sequence break for him, but now that we know where the lamp is, it's not really going to be... Well, who knows? Oh man, Jighart having a little bit of trouble with this Thieves fight.
Yeah, he had the perfect setup, but he got a little bit blocked by the head at the last phase. Still a good fight overall. Got his bottom, he can turn it in right now. I don't know if I saw Ruble turn it in.
Could not tell you. But hey, we got big key on the right side in Pod. So we might see a hammer jump out of Ruble. I'm not 100% sure. But he would be able to conveniently route it a little bit easier with a hammer jump.
Would be entertaining in his mind if he were to hammer jump to find the hammer. Oh my, another sword found.
Oh, wow. Well,
so we know he did not go to Sick Kid because he would have gold sword right now.
Oh man. And he could have done that. Well, no. Yeah, he could have because he did Thieves Town later after he already had Mire.
Yep.
So yeah, there goes Ruble's big advantage, finding that cape. Of course, he will be able to, if he remembers to go to check, he'll get the gold sword. But overall, gold sword it doesn't really give you too much more of an advantage.
Yeah, it's nice for some things, like getting a really quick Trinex if you're not perfect with Tempered Sword.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you're going to be killing everything in one hit anyways.
Yeah, it's not as big of a difference as Tempered versus Master. I mean, when you're this far into the race, 50 minutes in, and you're missing a key component like the hammer, you're gonna start getting flustered, and then your routing might not be perfect. So skipping like Sick Kid by accident is highly possible.
And he has not gone to Hera yet, so he might think that's his next option. And when he does that, he won't find anything because he won't have a light source yet, because you need the hammer to get to that.
And at the same time, all these options that he's taken, despite them being wrong, aren't necessarily bad.
Yeah, they're good choices. I would have gone to Pod earlier than Mire myself, and probably been in a bad spot.
Same. Once I got that bow, I'd have been like, Pod would be fun because I could swim there. I might have even gone there, well, except for the whole frog thing. Might have gone there right after getting my first sword.
I wouldn't have picked up the frog, to be honest.
He can stay.
Nothing in Pod at all, and Helmasaur has a compass, so not coming back here. That green pendant will rot.
Well, thankfully for Ruble, Jighart is finishing out some more of the overworld stuff, allowing him to get some of his time they've spent back, but he needs to go into Mire right now, and I don't think he's going to do it.
Oh no, he's going to Hera. This is what I didn't want to see.
At least it's a quick check.
Yeah, he's going to open that 2 chest locations and immediately know that he has nothing left here.
Well, he'll be able to do Ether and Spike Cave, and who knows, maybe Spike Cave is the answer.
There could be a fire rod in there to, unfortunately, confuse him a little more. He'll probably finish all of Hera. I guess Hera could have a hookshot though, so that might pay off.
Oh wait, he doesn't have his hammer yet. Never mind. I was thinking of Jighart.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You need a hammer.
Never mind. But Jighart doesn't have the cape. You just need to you need to meet up in the middle, swap some items around.
Yeah. Although that cape is not looking that important right now.
No.
I think we're running out of time for Ruble to not lose any time on this hammer play. Kind of needs to get it right now, or Jighart's going to keep getting faster and faster.
Well, with that hammer in hand, I'm thinking Ice Palace already.
Yeah.
But then again, it is pendant, but I would...
Pendants don't mean anything anymore.
Oh, but Palace of Darkness is also a pendant.
Yeah, both really good options are here. Aren't that important. We're gonna go see a Lamola kill here from Jighart.
We've already seen both items, I believe, in Desert Palace, but...
This unlocks the ferry.
Oh, that's got to be big. Thieves Town, their first 2 crystal dungeons opening up a Pyramid Ferry. You got to think that there's something in there.
Yeah, I would guess on the... it could be a Cane of Samaria to finish off Mire. Maybe even give T-Rock a start. That's something Ruble might help for, is a T-Rock key item, which will waste a lot of time.
I wonder if Jighart will go up and finish Tower of Hera next, having that lantern. We didn't see any items in Hera yet, right?
I don't actually know. I missed. I just saw the small key on the middle chest, and that was it. I didn't see the basement.
And Ruble going for the play through Hyrule Castle. We know there's nothing down here. I wonder if he'll also do the sewer stuff. Yeah, that's not committing to Mire is hurting him. But it's kind of the same thing as not wanting to go into Thieves Town without a hammer. It's like not wanting to go into Mire without, not only without the cane, but without a fire source.
Yeah, it's typically what people would say is a bad play, but it paid off real big on this one.
But we have seen hammer in Mire so many times. Mire's like...
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's
so we're gonna
good.
see probably a re-entrance of Mire right now.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so here's the route. You had to go into Mire, get the hammer, to go to East Death Mountain to get the lamp, to go back to go to Landwola to get the cane, to go into Mire, and then we already got both items in Mire, so there's nothing of value in there except for a crystal. But this is big. It's real big.
Yeah, that's a huge lead for Jighart. Unfortunately for Ruble, Jighart's going to be pulling ahead dungeon by dungeon at this point.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Ruble, in his head, he's thinking, I should just go to Mire. I should just go to Mire. I should just go to Mire.
Yeah, there's not many appealing options for him without that hammer. That hammer really brought all the good options out when you could choose between Death Mountain, Ice Palace, Pod, all the full completions that you really want to be doing.
And with both items and the big key in hand, Mire is pretty much straight to Vitreous.
Yeah, just clearing for a crystal at this point.
And conveniently picking up that Tempered Sword from the Sick Kid. They'll be able to, if they choose, to do the damage boost strats.
Yeah. Their arrows are pretty high, so they could do silverless arrows and just kind of murder them anyways. So that is a lot of arrows. I believe you need, what is it, 4 shots per eyeball, or is it 2? No, it's 3 shots per eyeball, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 shots.
And then
And
8
shots
on
on the big guy.
Yeah, so that's a total of 35 arrows required. So plenty to spare.
Looks like Ruble is finally making that Mire play.
It's good for Ruble. He'll find a hammer.
The problem is, what's he going to do once he gets that hammer?
Yeah, he doesn't need to finish Pod, so that won't be on his mind. So it'll be really just, do you go up to Hera and then do... Well, he's already been to Hera, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. He'll either go to Hera and in East Mountain, or he'll look at Ice Palace.
No, he's been to Hera. So hopefully he'll go straight up to East Death Mountain next.
Yeah, so it's really East Death Mountain or Ice Palace, and I really hope he doesn't pick Ice Palace.
Alright, let's see what option Jighart goes with. Going with the damage boost strats. This is a very popular strat used in the NMG, no major glitches, vanilla speedrun.
It's definitely faster than shooting 35 arrows at the boss.
Oh yeah, definitely. If they didn't have Master Sword, we might have seen like a combination of the two.
Might have forgot he didn't have silvers there, because he started walking into the pain and taking a bit of extra damage.
No, that was optimal. Definitely optimal.
It would have been optimal, but he backed out of it. He had enough hearts to kill him and then just move on, but he decided to play it safe.
And Ruble just picking up their hammer. Will be picking up their big key. Gonna go ahead and finish out what they can in here, and then... What's next for Jighart? The scary thing is, Jighart does have T-Rog access, but
Yeah.
without the Fire Rod,
Is this the gamble? Or are we just clearing Hera?
might be just clearing Hera. We can see a Fire Rod in Hera.
Yeah, I was thinking of Pod Eastern cleanup, but with Pod being a pendant, there's not the biggest of reasons to go there just yet. And I believe that's pretty much going to confirm that Eastern doesn't have an item if they're not willing to go back with the current toolset they have.
Alright, what's Tower of Hera gonna have? We did get access to this as soon as they got the lamp in East Death Mountain.
Yeah.
It is basement required. So both players will have to do this.
Maybe a hook shot for Swamp Palace?
Maybe.
That's another place Jighart might be thinking about, is a hook-shotless swamp to find something good.
Well, let's talk about this pedestal seed. Or this pedestal. It cannot be Fire Rod. It can be Cane, it can be Ice Rod. And it can be Hookshot.
Jighart had a lot of trouble getting that switch, but it's a tile room, so you're not actually wasting any time by taking it that way.
Alright, Ruble, hammer in hand. Where are you going to go to next? Looks like he's bailing out on something.
Might have been thinking swamp and decided that would be a terrible plan. Oh, he realized the mountain, and this is a great play.
Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, so as we know, Ruble will be picking up their... Was it just the lamp over here? Or was there anything else? Oh, here we go. Here's the spike pit, cave plate. This could be big. This could be huge. Oh, we got a bug net. All right. Sweet.
Oh, that's a waste of time for Ruble, and he's gonna have to save and quit too.
That's so disappointing. That's when you just get unlucky. Yeah, because Jighart's never gonna go back for that sword. They're not even looking for that cape at this point.
Yeah, there's gonna be no gold sword for Jighart unless it's running out of options to find that fire rod.
There might not be a gold sword for Ruble either.
Yeah, he might forget about Sick Kid.
Yeah. Oh, and just a fire shield from Moldorm. Alright, well, let's see. What do we got open to us? What do we have available? We could go into T-Rock for a silly gamble. We do have Pyramid Fairy available. I don't think we've seen Bombos yet. Bombos tablet. And then, of course, there's the Ice Palace play and the Swamp Palace without hookshot play.
Pod and Eastern is probably the best choice, though.
Yeah, we could see. I don't know if Helmasaur has an item or not, but it at least does have a green pendant.
Helmasaur has the compass or map. I can't remember which one it is, but there is no item on it.
Oh, we did see Bombos. It was Big 20. All right.
Yeah, I believe Jighart turned that in.
Man, you're an hour and 2 minutes in. You still are missing both of the rods, and the hookshot. And oftentimes like a fire rod or a hookshot, you usually get those like pretty early.
Yeah, both of these items missing is kind of rare for me. The ice rod is kind of what scares me. I hate having a T-Rock crystal because ice rod can be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's never a requirement on it, so it's
a scary thought. You don't want to go for the T-Rock gamble.
Yeah.
Never. Though, in this version, it's not really a gamble anymore. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I believe the race that was on SG2 had a gamble ice rod for T-Rock, and it didn't pay off.
Oh yeah, fortunately, I think both players made the gamble, so it didn't really cost anyone extra time. All right, Ruble about to pick up their lamp. We need them. If they want to stay in this race, they got to head straight to Landmola. Because right now, Jighart is doing everything that Ruble has already done.
Yeah, both players just retracing steps right now.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Ruble is 3 crystals behind.
Yeah.
And an hour and 4 minutes in and only having 1 crystal is never a good feeling.
No. You're normally okay with that when you're sitting on all items except for 1, or maybe you just hit go mode, but when you're missing 3 items with a single crystal, you're in a lot of panic right now.
It was just unfortunate that the hammer was in the very last location he checked. And that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, had to go into a fire sourceless mire to find a hammer. It's not a gamble most people would take.
Right. But at the same time, when you go into the mire area and you look at the medallion, you're like, okay, I have the medallion. Do I have a way to get into mire? Yes, I have the boots. I don't have the cane, so I don't have to finish this right now.
Yeah.
You might be thinking, well, I could quickly check this, quote unquote.
There's a good point. Without the cane, it means you can. Ooh, it's a fancy trick there by Jighart.
I like that. I have not seen that one. Though they did end up spending a lot of time killing the little beetles to try and make that work.
Yeah, I usually kill the beetles anyways because I'm not not great at dodging them. But if you can dodge them, it's a little faster. Just walk around them and throw a bomb.
Mm-hmm. Or with the boots in hand, you could just bonk back up onto that ledge.
Yeah, that's true.
Shoot an arrow, and then just leave the room and come back in so you can get across. Alright, looks like Ruble is going to be going right back into Moldorm. Or into Tower of Hera to beat Moldorm. Beat him up and get his bug net and fire shield.
A little angry.
Come on, G-Tower, open up. Yeah, that's
You
unfortunate.
gotta be Andy to open the door at 104 though.
Right.
Although I believe about like 10 other people finished as fast on that one.
That was also a standard, wasn't it? It wasn't an
Yeah,
open
I think
road.
that was a standard.
I was in that race. I got a 111, which was still a PB.
See, that's what I meant by anyone could open the door at that time. So Jighart's gonna find his last two items in these last two chests, and then he'll realize that Helmasaur is not needed.
But will they make the play? Green Pendant Helma. I don't know.
They will. They're going in.
Wow. All right. This is huge.
I mean, when you're mirroring to do Eastern next, it doesn't really hurt to spend a little bit of time going to Sahasrahla.
That's why I like it. In one player's race, they actually went straight for Helmasaur first and then did the back section. Which, I don't know if it's good or not. It ended up being a pedestal seed, so it worked out.
I've done that in a few places, but that's usually when pot is a crystal, not a pendant.
Oop. Whoop. Whoop. There we go.
35 arrows, it's not the worst thing in the world, but
Got him.
wasted a bit of time.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, you never want to have to come back to beat Helmasaur just to get the green pendant and then check that stuff. This way, Jighart will be able to just completely be finished with this entire area, never have to come back.
Yeah, you don't wanna have to think about this ever again. So getting it out of the way is good. And as we mentioned, Ice Rod being anywhere could be on the pedestal.
So with Boots, Book, and Flute, they got their book in. Where was Book? Book was in Skull Woods, but they didn't get their mirror until later. So they couldn't check it immediately, but you think... I personally would have put it in a pedestal check earlier.
I'm a fan of just not checking the pedestal and losing if it happens to be a pedestal seed.
True. At the same time, though, without a Fire Rod yet, the idea of it being a pedestal seed is still kind of... It's pretty slim.
Yeah, you kind of want to find the items that finish the pendant dungeons before you decide whether or not it's a pendant seed or a pedestal seed. It's kind of like the choosing to skip on the lumberjack check until you have boots and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't believe Jighart has checked still. He might not remember that he hasn't checked it.
Oh yeah, they did skip it at the beginning.
Yeah, so there is a chance for them to go back to that cave and give it a look.
So as
Ruble
of right
getting
now,
gold sword!
Oh man, you remember. The only thing that could possibly be on the pedestal right now would be Ice Rod.
Yeah.
Or Hook Shot.
Or
That's
hook
it.
shot, depending on the way ice is set up. I don't actually know the logic for ice. Does that
But
Cane of Samaria skip that?
Oh, he's doing it. He's going back to Land Mola. He's going to get his Cane of Samaria. It is pretty interesting that neither player has committed to the Ice Palace play yet. Oh, well, Ice Palace is a pennant, so of course not.
Yeah, you wanna get those crystals done.
You want to get those crystals done.
I would assume
Ruble.
they're going into
Ruble.
ice before half the swamp. Oh no! I've done that dash before. I've actually stopped dashing around desert because of that specifically.
Well, sometimes it's fun to set up the spin speed to get to the back section early, but then you just whoop right off the edge, and you're like, ah, come on. That's funny. Why would a sick kid have the most powerful weapon in the game? Minus silver arrows. Where'd he get that? Who'd he buy it from?
You don't need silver arrows though. Well, I guess you don't need gold sword either. But...
Yeah, futon.
Quiet. I guess you're right. Silvers are more powerful because they make Vitreous look like a joke.
Yeah, but you still can't beat those sweet, sweet sword beams. The most powerful weapon in the game.
I hate sword beams.
I do too. They're the worst.
We need an on-off switch for sword beams.
Mm-hmm. Or at least give them like actual damage value that's worthy of the sword you're using.
I'm gonna request that holding L while you swing activates sword beams.
Be interesting. But what if you have quick swap on? Then what?
Remove quick swap. Garbage. Alright, so we're gonna finish Eastern here and Lamola's at the same time.
Alright, who's gonna finish first?
I'm guessing Jighart, the speedy kill here. Oh, never mind. Still Jighart, but not as speedy.
No! Pretty close though. Ruble picking up their Cane of Samaria will be heading straight into Mire. That Lamb will be able to go straight and fight Vitreous, and having that gold sword will probably make it a little bit quicker of a fight as well. And Cape. You could see Cape dash strats for Vitreous.
Yep, that could be it's gonna be a quick fight either way with that gold sword, but we're gonna see which strat he chooses to use. Jighart picking up the Samaria block there because he does not want to take his portal back.
Alright, moment of truth. Did Sahasrahla have anything? Was that pendant worth getting? Are we gonna see an Ice Rider, Fire Rider hookshot here?
No, it was
We are
not.
Oh,
It's good for
man.
Ruble. He has all the items in pod and does not need to go back.
Ruble?
That is a gamble. If I've ever seen one.
Wow. That's huge. Huh.
I don't believe he's behind by any items right now, so this could be the play that puts him back in it.
I mean, Mire is in go mode. Eastern is in go mode. So if he finds like hookshot though, then he'd go to swamp next.
Are we getting a pedestal check here through the Dark World?
I think so.
I believe Jighart didn't do the back chest here as well.
Which one?
The one in the second half here with the block.
Oh, the Vanilla Bean key chest?
Yeah.
There's
this one we
Quake.
skipped.
It's not what you want to see.
Ruble did this chest though, so we know it isn't going to be anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. With the Cane of Samaria in hand, you might not have to even need a hookshot. I don't know. I'm not even going to try it.
I don't know the logic.
Balance logic.
I gave up on that earlier.
And yeah, with not getting a big key in the first chest is going to make this dungeon a little bit more tricky to route.
Yeah. And
but if the freezers end up giving him something, like a small key.
Yeah, I like to go to the freezers to try to get a small key if I can, so that I can go back up.
Alright, moment of truth. It's...
a bottle of green goo. Which means this Ice Palace play is looking a little more risky.
I mean, here's the thing. There's nothing left.
Oh no! He pulled a futon!
Oh no, that sucks. There's nothing more in Mire. There's nothing more in Eastern. We still haven't seen a Pyramid Fairy check. But Yeah, Jighart making all these, overworld choices instead, which is going to allow Ruble to, catch a little bit, catch up a little bit. And if he finds something big in Ice Palace, this could be huge.
Oh, he's gonna find his. Oh, he's checking the cave now. The lumberjack he has not checked yet. He's gonna find those 3 bombs.
Man, hour and 15 minutes in, you're just checking lumberjack. You're like, please no.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a panic mode. He has no idea where Ruble is right now. He should feel ahead with that Mire choice to get the hammer, but I imagine right now he's not feeling as comfortable.
Well, after doing Helmassar and checking the ped, those are some slow options to do.
Yeah. He is going to find the cape over here, though. And probably might not go back for the gold sword. We'll have to see what he decides on there.
Yeah. Master Sword and Tempered, definitely. Tempered to gold, might not be worth the trouble.
He's going to lose like a minute running all the way back there to begin with, so I don't know if it's worth the check.
Yeah, so far, Jighart is checking a bunch of stuff we've already seen, while Ruble is in new territory. This could be big.
Yeah,
yet.
There's a good chance that Jighart does this too, so even if it doesn't pay off, it's not like Ruble's going to waste too much time in this gamble.
I would assume Jighart would go to... There's Brian, that's not what you want to see. Would go to Pyramid Fairy next.
Yeah, I don't know if he forgot that he got those 2 crystals first, because those were his first 2 crystals, and he could immediately go do that, and I don't believe he's done that yet.
I'm sure Ruble's making this play just because he probably feels super far behind.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, it is not working out so far. Not a good feeling.
He's going to go check the jelly rooms, and then... He's going to have to do a bomb jump, though, if he wants to go check that big key without that hookshot in hand. Jighart, I think Jighart is getting that gold sword. Yep, looks like it.
Definitely a safe play to make. You don't want to risk anything when you're going into Ganon. It's gold sword makes that pretty much the easiest fight possible.
Now, does Ruble know the bomb jump to get back over here?
Looks like he's gonna try it.
Yeah. It's not a hard one.
He doesn't have a hook shot, so going the other way doesn't help him, does it? No, he doesn't need to, actually. He can just jump right down.
Well,
although he can't check the big chest. I think he sees his problem. Take the gamble.
Alright. You're here. Go ahead and kill Cold Stare. Get that item, hopefully.
This would be the worst feeling in the world, to miss an item sitting in that big chest. See where Jighart flutes to next. Swamp or ice are probably the options to him right now. Oh, he picked Swamp.
It's a 50-50. Who's gonna win? Or could imagine, what if there's one of each item in both dungeons? It looks like Jighart is having a change of heart.
Yeah.
Going for the ice play.
And a great kill by Ruble, unfortunately seeing a compass out of it though, so there is an item in that big chest, which he had to skip because he did not bomb jump.
Oh, that's so bad. So I guess what he could have done was instead go all the way back down and then bomb his way into, the big key, the big chest. And then, of course, that would have been an item and he could have left the dungeon. But then for routing like the rest of the stuff, I think he can go drop down and then go back up to check the double jelly room and all that stuff. But yeah, Ruble not committing to it. So this, once a very good gamble, might come back to bite him in the butt.
He's pulling out his book, so he's gonna go check the pedestal and be like, "This doesn't matter," and he'll be in a pickle after that.
Well, hopefully he goes and does Pyramid Fairy next, or at least goes and focuses on dungeons.
That was a good bomb strap by Jighart there to kill one of the penguins that he missed.
Green goo.
I want to see a swap gamble right now.
You think you'll make it?
Is that Eastern?
Yeah, it looks like it's. Oh, is
You
he?
don't. Oh, he's going for the Sahasrahla check too. Since he knows there's no items left in pod, but he's going to check Sahasrahla.
It's interesting to make this gamble instead of like popping into swamp or something.
Yeah, especially when you know
'Cause-
Eastern doesn't have anything either.
At this point, you got to just think to yourself, you know, if it's at Helma, I've already lost. So I should just fully commit to skipping it.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, this is stuff that he should know Jighart has done, and if he skipped it, he's already lost the race at that point. So he needs to gamble on something a little more riskier, since his other gambles aren't working out for him.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he didn't have the hammer hit the first time he was in here, so he's probably thinking, well, you know, hammer unlocks some items. It unlocks green pendant. Maybe green pendant has value.
Yeah.
It's not a bad play, but
unfortunately, as you make more gambles that don't pay off, you kind of need to take even more gambles to make up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have to assume your opponent made the same gambles.
This seat is pretty awful.
Yeah, it's pretty
Not
brutal.
gonna lie.
It's a brutal one. And Jighart's making excellent time on it.
You know, at this point I'm feeling like Fire Rod in the first chest of T-Rock or something terrible.
Yeah, T-Rock could still hold an item. T-Rock could hold the hook shot if it really wanted to be mean enough.
Yeah, because the last progression item we got was the Cane of Samaria. So if you're just going from, you know, one progression item to the next, then you might be thinking, oh man, Cane of Samaria. But I want to see, where's that Pyramid Fairy?
Yeah, we still haven't seen that checked yet, which is
Where's
very
it at?
strange. I'm
Good
very
old sword
surprised
games.
they haven't showed. Why didn't Jighart do that instead of go to ice?
I don't know. I might have forgotten.
We must have forgotten, or we just missed it. I don't think.
Well,
we
because the
missed
thing
it,
is, Jighart's first two dungeons were. Actually, I think both players' first two dungeons were the Pyramid Fairy dungeons, so.
Yep.
So yeah, with the items that they have, they can either, if the first chest in T-Rock is a small key, they can at least check the Chain Chomp room. If it's just an item, then there's nothing else they can do in T-Rock.
Yeah. If the Chain Chomp room has a key as well, can they go all the way to the big key chest?
Yes, the vanilla big key chest.
A long, convoluted path to only get small keys.
And then potentially do, like, Mimic Cave.
Yeah. Oh god, that would be trouble. Small keys to Mimic Cave.
We've seen Fire Rod in vanilla big key chest before. It's not a crazy idea. It's a rare one, but it's not crazy. All right, it looks like we are going to see the big chest from Jighart.
Yeah. Hopefully for Ruble, it is nothing.
Oh, this could be big. It's...
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. That is the last one you want to see there, because now Ruble can complete everything. Absolutely everything before he has to go back there.
Oh, poor Ruble. That's so unfortunate. That's so unlucky. But that's the thing, is that still doesn't... All that does is allow you to beat Tridex, but it doesn't progress you at all.
Yeah, so now Jighart has to go into... Hopefully he remembers the Pyramid Fairy, but Swamp is going to be the choice there.
Maybe they were saving Pyramid... It was like Pyramid Fairy into Swamp scenario. Man, that stings. And it was... I think it was just because Ruble realized too late they didn't have the hookshot. Ruble dropped down, I think, assuming he had the hookshot to do the hookshot clip across the blocks to get it. But then he went for the gamble that Cold Stare was going to have the item, which he didn't, and then fluted away. So any chance of Ruble winning this is pretty much it's pretty low. It's a very low percent
Yeah.
chance.
Let that be a lesson to everybody. Learn that bomb jump. It's actually really important.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wonder if Ruble knows it, but because he might have thought that he had.
Yeah, he might have just dropped down anyways.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him. All right, here we go. Hook shotless Swamp Palace.
Still not checking the Pyramid Fairy, are we?
Nope. Now here's the thing. We had access to this since Mire, since getting the hammer out of Mire, which was a very long time ago.
Yeah, and the hammer unlocked a lot of other things, which has kind of led off to another, hour of play. I wonder if Jighart will forget entirely about that fairy, because that will be Ruble's way in. If Jighart forgets and Ruble goes and does that right now.
But the problem is, if Ruble finds the fire rod, he might do the T-Rock gamble. He might do a bunch of other stuff. The likelihood of him going back to Ice Palace is...
Yeah, unfortunately, because it was the ice rod in there, he's most likely going to do everything else in the seed before he remembers to go back.
Because that right there was a hard commit. Nope, not going back in. I'm done.
Yeah.
Ice Palace sucks. Laters.
Ice Palace does suck, though.
So the question is, are we going to find Hookshot or Fire Rod? Or both? Or neither?
I'm going with neither. I'm feeling either the fairy or T-Rock being the important portion.
Well, there's your fairy.
That's not what I meant.
Are you sure?
So we got 2 or 3 chests left in Swamp for Jighart, if he gets the big key or not.
Yeah, and at this rate, you kind of don't want it to find the big key because you don't want to have to backtrack.
Yeah, you'd rather just not have to go back at all. Just be done with the place. Because the big key doesn't really unlock more, because you're still getting nothing to find another location.
Ruble going for the T-Rock play?
Let's hope so. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure he's double... Wait, has he done the bonk across in the hookshot cave?
He's done everything up here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think this is a T-Rock gamble.
Oh, he might have... He hasn't done Spike Cave.
No, he has. He got a heart piece out of it. He did that while Jighart was
right.
elsewhere.
Jighart was the one that hasn't done it. Okay, well then he's going to T-Rock. He's just taking a goofy route.
This will pay off, I swear.
Oh man, give me Fire Rod. Actually, no. Give me give me Ice Palace.
Give me Ice Palace. Yeah, that's about right for Ruble right now.
Just open a chest and it just teleports you right to the big chest in Ice Palace.
There's
the
Fire Rod.
Wow.
Which makes this gamble extremely risky. Because he has to find Hookshot, and that's not even a good feeling.
Oh, right. Ruble has to go this route. It's still a goofy route.
Yep.
Even if he doesn't have a hookshot, but it's still a goofy route.
He
Stand
needs
by
to
my
find
words.
the Hookshot here for Jighart to be a little slower.
So hookshot could now be in Skull Woods. I think we still have an item, maybe?
Jighart has remembered the big bomb.
Jighart never forgot. Jighart was saving it until now.
Oh, never mind. I lied. Jighart forgot.
It's a big bomb anyway. Ruble picking up a small key. He's going to be able to progress a little bit further.
I mean, the good news for Ruble is that Fire Rod doesn't make an impact. Well, I guess you could do it without the hookshot, that's true. So never mind, I'm wrong. I'm so used to hookshotting that Fire Rod room that I assumed you needed it for a second.
Try next with hookshot scenario.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of small keys to keep Ruble going.
Oh no. But at this point, do you really want to be going?
No. I mean, at this point, it won't really matter. We need a extremely trolly happening to Jighart. He needs to forget about those fairy chests and it being there.
Well,
The
yeah,
only
'cause
way that
likely
Ruble comes back at this point.
Ruble would go. I could see him going into Swamp Palace next, getting his fire out, and then maybe even coming back up here.
Yeah. Good news is... Actually, no. There's no good news. I was gonna say that he could do the laser bridges, but no, he still needs that big key, which is now locked on the other side. If that was the big key, and he got the small key in the other room, I think he could have kept continuing.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, with this, it might mean he'll get the fire rod from Swamp and come back to T-Rock again before going to Ice Palace, which will mean
like
so many double dips.
He's gonna go ahead and check Mimic Cave before he heads on out of here, but yeah. This ain't good. This ain't good. Because at this rate, hookshot has to either be at Pyramid Ferry. Or Laser Bridge, or right here on the right side for Jighart.
With the amount of keys you've seen already, there is probably an item up here. Unless it's the big key. It actually is the big key, so I think it's the big key and a small key. I don't fully remember the logic on T-Rock.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'm either already go-moding it or I'm full clearing it.
Yeah. I'm not used to being here for an item. There was an item there, but it was not a hookshot.
Alright, Ruble, where are you off to next? Where are you off to next? What's he doing? Where do you think this hookshot's gonna be? You think it's gonna be on Laser Bridge Trinex? I mean, we don't really have many options left at this point.
I'm begging to see it on the ferry so that Jighart can forget about it and make this a little closer.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, we've done 100%, so
yeah, there's
Jighart's done here. It has to be ferry.
Yeah, and if he doesn't remember he hasn't done it, it'll clue into him when he goes through his inventory and thinks about it. It won't take him long to remember that. It's not something you forget for long. Oh, Ruble's gonna check Bombos here.
Yeah, we need hookshot primarily to finish Swamp, but as well as to hookshot across at Molder 2 at the top of G Tower. Unless you're one of those silly people that know how to hover.
I'm surprised that Ruble has also forgotten about that ferry so far.
Are we just
Neither player going
like
we must have missed it. Like, there's no way. This is ridiculous. It's one of the most popular areas to go to once you get those crystals. They have neither of them have checked it as far as we are aware.
Ruble gonna be getting his fire out here. And depending on what we find in T-Rock, we might not even have to, go to Pyramid Ferry.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's still an item in the back half of Skull Woods. I really hope Ruble goes to the Fairy Fountain after this, because there's that and Skullwoods left if Jighart isn't finding it in here. If you've missed it so far, Ruble and Jighart are both looking for what's supposed to be the last item for Go Mode, Hookshot. Ice Rod is in the one chest in Ice Palace that Ruble did not check, the big key chest, because he didn't have a hookshot and didn't use a bomb jump. Jighart managed to get it, and Fire Rod will be up soon for Ruble on the left side of Swamp Palace, which means hookshot could be in T-Rock for Jighart to go mode and finish. Could be in the back half of Skull Woods, or it can be in the Fairy Fountain on the pyramid that neither have checked yet. See how well Jighart does the laser bridge, laser skips. A very good dash there. And there's the hookshot. Jighart getting go mode, throwing a little block on that chest. A little bit of frustration looking for that this whole time, but that's go mode for Jighart, and that is basically the end of Ruble. It's a really unfortunate turn of events for Ruble. Pretty much the worst luck possible in this seed for him, with the hammer in Mire leading to the horrible chain of events that led him to Ice Palace early, but skipping out that big chest.
Laser bridge.
Laser bridge, second chest.
There it is. Wow.
It's probably the worst seed Ruble has ever played. This is gonna be my guess. Not in terms of performance, I just mean in like pure frustration. This seed sucks.
It's one of those seeds where you're like, all right, I think I'm gonna take a month off of Rando.
Yeah, I would definitely take a month off of Rando if I had this one in my tournament. If this was my tiebreaker, I'd be done.
I mean, let's talk about these pendant dungeons. So Skullwoods was nothing. Oh wait, it had a book.
There's something there, but it could be like a
was useless,
or a shovel. Yeah, it was. You didn't need it to get into desert either.
Pod had absolutely nothing, correct?
Pod had absolutely nothing as far as I remember.
Except for blue mail. That was about it.
Yeah, there was blue mail in the first chest. Well, second chest.
Ice Palace big chest was the only, which was hammer blocked, was the only thing of value. And Ruble forgetting to hit the switch, so he's gonna have to go back around. Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ruble, Jighart's going to be in Ganon's Tower while he's getting Crystal 6 and 7. Actually, he might not even have that.
Is it still going to be sub 2? That's what I want to know.
You got one Crystal in Ganon's Tower. I would say you got a 150, 153 coming in on Jighart, hopefully. Mm-hmm. Got plenty of time and mistakes to make. You could have the worst of GT luck and still sub 2 on this one. Ruble, unfortunately, I don't think has such an option.
So this seed forced a double dip in both Mire and Swamp Palace.
Yep.
And a pendant Ice Palace. those are some of the bigger requirements.
It's pretty brutal. Technically, Desert was not a required double dip. It just lined up that way.
Mm-hmm. And
double dip Eastern as well.
And that's the thing, is like these players could have gone into the Swamp Palace very early. After they got the hammer out of Mire, they could have gone into Swamp Palace immediately. After they got the hammer in Mire, they could have also gone into Ice Palace. But you got to be insane to make those plays that early when you still have all these crystal dungeons you could do, and Pod's usually a popular place. So this just ended up being one of those just awful seeds.
You know what's wild? Jighart double dipped every dungeon that they completed, except for T-Rock. And I guess Pod. But all the crystals that weren't T-Rock, they double dipped because they had to double dip Hera because they didn't have a light. They had to double dip Desert because they went there early. They had to double dip Eastern because it had the mitts to begin with. So there's a lot of double dipping going on in the seed.
Double dip Swamp was required. Double dip Mire was required. Wow.
Yeah.
And
This is a brutal seed.
This is still going to be a sub 2 is incredible.
Almost a pedestal, basically. They could have basically pedestaled the seed.
I'd say it's worse than a pedestal seed.
It really was. I mean, if Swamp or if Skull Woods had that hook shot on it, this would have been a basically pedestal seed because you had to full clear all the dungeons except for Pod, but Pod was the best choice, so you did it anyways. Yeah. And on top of all of that, you basically cleared all the pendants and double dipped everything at the same time.
Awful seed. Burn this one.
Awful.
Burn this one. And it looks
Save
like
it for next weekly.
Ruble is gonna go for the end up having to do a triple dip of this dungeon. He is gonna be able to get his hook shot, so he'll be able to go do Swamp.
Yeah, without that ice rod, this is a triple dip T-Rock.
Maybe he'll find the silver arrows. Who knows? Because he'll be full clearing Swamp and grabbing all those chests. Yeah, this is a. Oh gosh, it's unfortunate because you got to go for the gamble. Like, I don't want to go through all of Ice Palace again. I just gotta hope it's not there, and it's just extremely unlucky that that's where it was.
Yeah, Jighart checked a lot of the chests too. I believe Big Chest is the only one that he's not checked through this clear.
Oh, and Jighart using the sweet little quick kill attempts on Argus.
It's really hard to get perfectly though. You need to practice it. You can't even just go in there knowing how to do it. You need to practice it because the movement is very specific.
Mm.
And there's a map in the big chest, so there's no silvers. Yeah, that was really good. Just kind of melted him in the corner there.
Wait, did Jighart didn't check all the chests, did they?
Yeah, it's everything.
Oh, guess looking for silvers.
There's just map left on that inventory missing for the big chest, I believe.
So silver's in
Ganon's Tower, Skull Woods, or the Fairy Fountain that I am no longer sure if they checked or not, because this is
I don't even know if it exists at this point.
This is really confusing.
I don't think they must have taken it out in this scene because
they removed it for Waterfall. That's what it was. Which was just bomb upgrades.
Yeah, the double bomb upgrades is funny.
Double bomb upgrades, double single arrow in the chess game. Which warranted a bomb from Jighart. Jighart dropped a Canis Samaria block on the hook shot when he found it.
Has Ruble still not finished Mire?
He doesn't have Canis. Oh, he got Canis Samaria a while ago, but he had all the items, so no. He's go-moding it when he gets the chance.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is going to be a G Tower entrance while Ruble's on 4 crystals.
Alright guys, it's that time again. It's that time of the race where you gotta throw in your numbers. What do you think that big key is gonna be? We've got 22 chests coming up for you, potentially, in G Tower, and one of those chests is gonna hold that magical key that gets you upstairs. Do you think it's gonna be in the tile room? Do you think it's gonna be at Ice Armos? Do you think it's gonna be in the tile room? I think it's gonna be in the tile room.
I'm going with second chest in the East Alphos room.
Are you? Or are you just saying that, or are you going to actually type it?
Oh, I don't... What am I doing? I'm not even a supporter, so it won't count me.
Are you saying that you haven't subbed to Speed Gaming and or donated at least 250 bits to one of the 4 Speed Gaming channels?
I haven't. I am a poor person with no job. I'm okay with that fact.
Here, I'll get you a job just so you can support speed gaming a little bit easier.
Oh boy, I can act.
You can work for me. I need a secretary.
Ooh, we're going right.
Oh, here we go.
We got 2 chests down with no big key. And we're going right side. And we're not doing tile room based on that fire rod switch.
Well, tile room is always last, so.
Unless you're crazy.
Oh, green rupee on the laser bridge. Ugh. And the red mail. But, unfortunately for Ruble, no ice rod. So at this point, what does he have left? He's got...
I don't think he knows.
I don't know if that was a I don't know what to do, I've checked everything, or I don't want to go back to Ice Palace.
Yeah. It's a little frustration right now. I'm not... Oh, he's going to Hookshot Cave.
And there's the big key in chest number 1, 2, 4? 4.
I think that was 5 based on the... No, that was 4, you're right.
Yeah.
So chest number 4.
Yo, congratulations to Fluffy Mittens _ for correcting the guess. For guessing the correct big key chest. 4, that's a pretty, that's a free tower if I've ever seen one.
Yep. That's just an easy lead, really, for Jighart. No silvers, though. Probably won't find them anymore because of that. And Ruble might get them in this Hookshot Cave. We'll have to see what Ganon says.
And with 40 arrows, you thinking pretty good at this point? Man, what a awful seed.
Yeah. Still not even a 2-hour, though. Which is incredible.
How many... How many 2-hour seeds have we had in the main tournament?
I cannot say I know that.
Oh man, Hookshot Cave having nothing. So here's something worth thinking about. If Ruble had, in fact, gotten the Ice Rod out of Ice Palace, it still wouldn't have really given him any sort of huge benefit. He still would have had to have made the Swamp Palace play, and I still think he would have made the T-Rod play. So I don't know if missing that Ice Rod was a huge difference maker, or if he had gotten the Ice Rod, how much of a difference maker it would have made for him in this race.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have been already done T-Rock and moving into Swamp right now for the that crystal, and then Mire go mode, and then he would be in. But instead, you have to check everything.
That late hammer really cost him a lot of time.
I wonder if he'll remember that there's an item left in Skullwoods. As if he goes there too, that's extra time wasted.
For people just joining us, the huge discrepancy between these two racers is Jighart going for the gamble into Mire without the means to complete it and finding the hammer very early on. And then Ice Rod being in the big chest in Ice Palace, Pendant Ice Palace, which unfortunately Ruble skipped on because he didn't route properly or effectively to get it.
Yeah,
and
he might have made an assumption that cost him that routing option.
And he didn't want to commit to re-going through Ice Palace again.
And that Ice Rod has basically made him 100% the game, while Jighart almost doing the same thing, but able to clear T-Rock and go right back into go mode after that, since Hookshot is on the laser bridge.
Alright, Jighart making their way up the bridge, about to hit up the first torch room, pulling out the fire rod. Fire rod plus half magic makes the torch room pretty easy. And then I could see Jighart checking a few chests along the way, but you must be thinking like, oh man, I don't know where my opponent is. I'm worried. I made a lot of mistakes. I did some extra stuff. I don't know if I want to check stuff, but we'll find out.
I would feel comfortable 150 on this seed, being where they are. because this seed was brutal.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you're looking at that saying 150. They could be at Ganon right now. But from the way Jighart's been playing, it kind of looks like they're aware that they're ahead.
I feel like it was brutal by choice because a lot of their choices made the game or the seed a lot harder than it needed to be.
Yeah, Jighart made some good plays that paid off. Ruble played a little safer, which is what made this awful. And then the Ice Palace choice by Ruble cost him a lot of time.
Maybe we'll finally see Pyramid Fairy after Ruble finishes up Swamp Palace. And a quick Moldarn too. Oh, there was a mushroom in Swamp. So
Well, there's
that could lead to-
another red heron for Ruble.
Yeah. So no silvers for Jighart, which is nice. You know, it's oftentimes we get silvers like at the beginning of the game, so I'm kind of excited to see some serverless strats on Ganon.
You get to see where they are from Ganon telling us instead of us actually finding them for once.
Well, either it's going to be G Tower or it's going to be Light World or Dark World. Because if it's Light World, then it's the Mushroom. If it's Dark World, then it's Pyramid Fairy. And if it's G Tower, then it's... What's G Tower? There was a lot of chests that were skipped since we got Big Key on number 4.
A 5 cycle from Jighart ends the Aghanim 2 fight, and we'll get to see this Ganon fight start up very soon.
Not the strongest Agatube fight, but more than enough.
Yeah. One 2 hits phase is good enough.
And since Jighart took the time to go get that Butter Sword, this fight is going to be even easier.
Yeah. It's, was that 6 spins or 12 spins in the final phase? I don't really know.
It's still 12.
Oh.
Because spins don't
Oh,
do
yeah,
extra
that's
damage
same
with Gold
damage.
Sword, except
Yeah.
on Hinox's for some reason.
Ruble getting a fairly quick dash strat there that Jighart also succeeded on. His kill won't be as clean though since he's not using the Fire Rod strat.
And Jighart going with Cape strats despite having the Gold Sword. And
Gotta make
definitely
it
going for the overkill. You're wanting to make sure Ganon stays dead this time after this brutal seed. Because you gotta assume that Ganon was the one that put all the items in the chest.
I mean, he put
So-
none of them in Hyrule, so it kind of makes sense that he's the one who chose where they go.
So we should always blame Ganon for the seeds, for the randomization of the game. Light World, Mushroom. Gotta be. Alright, here we go. 12 spins to victory. 12 spins or slashes, but spins are the safest. Yeah, it looks like Ruble is going for the Swamp Palace play, or the Skull Woods play. Yeah, I'm doing it too. Alright, how many are we at, Futon? You been counting?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Had a mild conversation. Does that make silvers that mushroom?
Yes, he said Light World, so Mushroom's pretty much the only option that I can think of.
Yeah. I don't really know if they've left anything.
I don't think so. Alright, only a few more spins. There it is! Ganon
Unless
is
he
down.
walks off, that's a GG.
The pig is dead, sword up in the air. I think we can call this one a win for Jighart. And with that, Jighart will be moving on to the tiebreaker race tomorrow, finishing with a time of 1:54.12. GG's. GG's! We will get them in here for that sweet, sweet interview so we could talk about that Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah,
That
I
ended up-
really want to know.
That ended up having nothing, mind you. But still an interesting thought.
Send me the seed, I want to check it.
No. Seeds are released at the end of the tournament. Yeah, unfortunately for Ruble, will be finishing with a record of 2-4, thus ending his tourney life right here, right now. But don't fret. I'm sure he'll be back in the spring tournament next year, as well as all the other 2-4s and 1-4s and 1-5s. Wait, there can't be any 1-4s.
1-4s, I don't think.
I mean, there's still one more 1-4 today that haven't raced yet, so.
Ruble's checking Skullwoods now. We're still missing a shovel. That's the item we're not found.
Alright, Jighart will be joining us shortly. Oh, that's a good point. If we find shovel in... Well, yeah, it could have been, shovel in G-Tower to get the silvers.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they went anywhere in the left side, so there's a lot of items in GT still.
You know what they need to do? Similar to the powder trick, they need to figure out a shovel trick so you can have a fake shovel.
That'd be awesome.
I want that. I want to do a fake shovel dash. Just imagine how ridiculous that would look. And Mothula fight is still broken.
Yeah, Moth is just hugging that wall, which is really annoying. There we go. Oh no.
Oh no, there it is. There's the shovel. Go get those silvers. They gotta be there. And I believe we have Jighart in the chat. Congratulations, Jighart, on your victory. Moving on to the tiebreaker race tomorrow. How are you feeling right now?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, it works better if I unmute myself.
It's okay.
I'm a newbie commentating. I'm exhausted, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels good that I'm gonna get at least a chance to advance tomorrow.
So
that's...
this was a brutal seed. It was, we were talking about it, was a forced double dip in both Mire and Swamp. Other than that, I think everything else could have been done in a single shot, depending on how you... Oh no, Eastern. And Eastern, because Eastern had Titan Myths. So 3 Crystal Dungeons, forced double dip, and then a Pendant Ice Rod in Ice Cave, or Ice Palace. It's not a very friendly seed, and yet you still managed to pull out a 154.
Yeah, it's a weird one. To be honest, I'm not feeling very well right now, so I don't think I was fully concentrated on it. And at some point, I think I just went autopilot, stopped thinking, and just went to a place, and it worked. So I'm not gonna say it's pure luck, but honestly, don't ask me how I did this routing, because it was a mess.
Speaking of autopilot, that autopilot somehow never took you up to the Pyramid Fairy, if I recall correctly.
No, I never went to the pyramid at all. I was thinking about it when I was checking Graveyard and King's Tomb. Then I decided that I had checked enough of a world and I would just go to Ice. But that was the next play. If there was nothing in Swamp, was Pyramid Fairy and Pyramid. That was my next play.
Well,
Ruble's just having fun here.
Makes logical sense to us. It seems Ruble has decided to not finish the game. He says not doing that again. So, Jighart, one of the biggest factors that sealed your victory not only was finding the hammer first, as Ruble put off Mire until almost I think the very last option to get the hammer. Ruble also made the Ice Palace play first, but based on routing, missed checking the big chest and gambled on Cold Stare having the last item, and then never went back in. Thus doing would have eventually been a triple dip into T-Rock, because they then went to Swamp Palace, got the Fire Rod, then went back up to T-Rod for a second time, got the hook shot, and then did literally everything else. So that definitely played a big part. But your routing overall saved you a lot of time. And you had the lead pretty much the entire time, I'd say.
Yeah, getting that hammer was the lead, and since Ruble never made a big enough gamble to take it back with finding another item, that was pretty much the game from there.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Ruble was the first one to go into pod, but didn't have the hammer. But then they ended up going back later, and killing Helmsar and finding nothing. So, a little friendly GG from Ruble. He's digging it in the sand.
Forfeit in style, right there.
That's how you do it. But yeah, congratulations on your victory. Hopefully you'll be feeling better by tomorrow for your big tiebreaker race.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that because this is gonna be a brutal one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we got 30 plus racers. Only, as far as you know, at the moment, only 6 players advancing. So that's pretty big. Gotta make those gambles count. And
Yeah, I think tomorrow is gonna be gamble day.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully you don't get another awful seed like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on the Christos race, just in case he actually goes to the tiebreaker race as well. Just to get a little bit more prepared, maybe?
But here's the thing. For the Jet Christos Owen race, I believe it was a pair down. So Jet, I believe, is a 4-1, and Christos is 3-2. If Christos wins, then it's only 6 players that are advancing from the tiebreaker race. If Christos loses, it'll be 7 players that will advance from the tiebreaker race. But that means that Christos will be in that race, and that's never a person you want to see in a tiebreaker race.
Nope.
So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, I don't know if I have any other questions about this seed for you. If you have any last words for the chat.
Well, bless RNG for tomorrow, and yeah, thank you for commentating. Thank you for watching.
Of course, anytime. We had fun. Right, Futon?
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah. I want to see if Ruble wants to get in here. I want to hear his venting. Though I can highly understand why he might not want to. Speaking of which, do we have anything going on afterwards, or do we have to move on? Hey, Ruble. Welcome.
Hello.
So, hashtag never lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I took the exact wrong path through that seed.
Yeah.
It was... Well, the first unlucky thing was Hammer being the last... The Mire check was like the last thing you could do. So that put you extremely far behind. And then you were the first player to make the Ice Palace play. And then was it just you didn't realize you didn't have the hook shot after you dropped down, or?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We saw you stall for a second. You're like, crap. Now I got to go fight Coldstone and hope he has the item. And at the same time, we do not blame you for not wanting to go back into Ice Palace for one item, because that Ice Rod could have been literally anywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't want to do Mire early because I didn't have a fire source. Let's see what else. I think by the time I got the hammer, I figured I was pretty far behind, and then I just started doing like the dumbest things possible in the hopes that they would pay off. Like going to Turtle Rock without either rod or...
Yeah. Which, it wasn't at that point, it's never a bad play. And this was just so happened to be one of those seeds that forced you to double dip Mire and forced you to double dip Swamp. And you never want to see an item on the left side in Swamp Palace when you don't have the hookshot already. But
yeah, and then I forgot to put down the barrier.
So you had to go back and check again just to get, I don't know, some junk item.
It was a full heart. The what was it? I was very confused for a lot of the seed. Especially once I found the hookshot, I'm like, wait a second, I want to check hookshot cave because if the ice rod's in there, like,
oh, that would have been so rude, though.
Care so much. Yeah.
Get hookshot on Laser Bridge to go back and get the ice rod to go back in.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to get out of Turtle Rock, and I was surprised that where I mirrored actually worked. But
where'd you mirror? Outside of Laser Bridge or outside? Oh wait, no.
Left side of the big chest area.
Oh, to get out without having to lose
cave,
your portal.
And I think like the cherry on top of this seed sundae is the fact that I finished with 2 fetch quest items.
Yeah, we were wondering where the silvers were going to be because we never found them. Jighart never found them, and then when Ganon said Light World, it was like, oh man, it's either going to be the mushroom or it's going to be the shovel, but we didn't have the shovel, and then that was on Mothula. So
yeah,
and
I was considering
in swamp or something.
Yeah, like I wasn't anywhere near done when Jighart finished, so I decided if all of my leads are exhausted, like Mothula has nothing, the mushroom has nothing, then I'm just done because I knew there was an item left in ice, and I just completely blanked on the big chest.
Now, did you ever check the Pyramid Fairy? Because we know Jighart didn't, and we weren't sure if you did either.
I did not.
Okay.
It's the first seed I've seen where both people skipped it when they had the first 2 crystals as that.
And Jighart apparently never even checked what was on the pyramid to begin with, so... But yeah, because I think for both of you had the Pyramid Fairy crystals as your first crystals.
Yeah, I am really bad at remembering which crystals are which. Like,
do you use a tracker?
I really hope that there's like an update in like V27 or something where when the crystal drops down, it's actually red. Like,
well, unfortunately, the crystals will be red on the map in V27. So
it's not even the map that gets me. It's more the fact that I just don't realize that I have the.
Well, they're also red in the menu.
Yeah,
so.
I know. And then I never look at them. So
wow.
That'd be an interesting change, though.
Yeah, that wasn't my downfall in this seed. So
yeah, I'd say it was just bad luck with the hammer, and then I'd also say it was bad luck with Ice Rod because that Ice Rod could have been literally anywhere. Except
if that was a Fire Rod or a hook shot, you probably would have been back there a lot sooner. But because it was Ice Rod, you could have 100% of the entire seed.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, it never feels good going 2 and 4. I know that feel. But I hope, because I know you after the last tournament, you took a long break. Will we be seeing you again in the next tournament? Hopefully.
I want to say probably not at this point.
No, okay, all right.
But
well, who knows? We might be on version like 30 by then.
You can join me in the secondary and bully me.
Yeah, you can do that.
Nah, I think I'm done with Randomizer for a little while. It wasn't just this seed that killed it for me, but I don't know. I'm kind of burnt out.
Yeah, don't blame you. All right, Pyramid Fairy had the Mirror Shield and a heart piece.
Cool.
Could have had that for Laser Bridge, I guess. Not really. Didn't matter. Useless junk. Well, GG Ruble. Sorry to see you go.
That's too bad.
Will you be sticking around for commentary at least?
Yeah, I'll be doing that.
Okay. All right. Glad to hear that. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming 3. Congratulations to Jighart moving on into the tiebreaker race tomorrow, going 3-3. and GG's to Ruble, rounding out the rest of his tournament at 2 and 4. GG's to both of our players. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we got some more randomizer shenanigans going on around here. I believe the Christos Jet race is on right now over at SG4. No, that started an hour ago. Wait. Guys, go there right now. Stop watching this. Go there and do that. All right.
I'm going to do that.
Same. Thank you guys so much for watching. Futon, thank you for joining me. Drake Tempest, thank you so much for running Tracker. And, of course, shouts to our restreamer. Cheers. Take it easy.
See you later, guys.